everyone, it's Pat from Pat Dev Music. Now, exciting stuff. This is the second part of my first backing track, okay? This is the pre-chorus. Now, if you haven't seen the first part, okay, learning how to solo over the verse, definitely check out this video, guys, but otherwise we're going to be pressing on. Now, the pre-chorus has a slightly different rhythm, a little bit more space, and it only uses one chord. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, what's only one chord? There's probably not many ways to solo. Aha! Well, there's actually as many ways as there are as many colors, blah, 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 blah. Okay? There's lots and lots of different ways. So I'm going to show you just 3 different ways how to solo over this. Let's get started, guys. So definitely grab your guitars. I'll show you 3 different ways, and I'll play an example, then I'll get you guys to play an example. Here we go. So the only thing you need to know is that the pre-chorus uses a D minor chord. Now the notes in D minor are D, F, and A. And if you're not sure how to get there and how I got those notes so quickly, definitely check out the Grade 1 playlist. There's a link in the description below. It'll really help with all your theory, guys. But I'm just going to press on. So flashing up on the screen now is how to play the D minor pentatonic scale. Now have a look there and have a look at the very last note, okay? So the very last note all the way on the 10th fret of the first string. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add another note in. Okay, another note in is the 13th fret. Okay, now the scale actually ends on that 10th fret of the first string, but we're going to add in that 13th fret. But that would be starting the scale again, so it's just important you guys know that, okay? But in the pre-chorus, guys, there's just a D minor chord. It's just that D minor chord ringing out, so I'm going to show you 3 different ways to solo over it. Now, the first way is what we're going to do is we're going to look over that pentatonic scale that I just showed you, okay? So hopefully you guys know how to play that scale. Now, all that we're going to do is we're going to solo using those notes of the scale. Now, those notes match up exactly with the notes in the chord, so it's going to sound great. Because it's in a bit of a higher register as well, it's going to add a little bit more tension. You're going to jump out of the mix a little bit more. And all that you need to do is choose notes from that scale. In any order, and they're going to sound great. Try not to just go up and down the scale. Just try and use them in different orders. Try and think of little melodies in your head just to make them sound a little bit more interesting. But guys, I'm just going to play for you a quick example. All I'm using here is notes from within the scale, and you guys can do it too, and then it's going to be your turn. So grab your guitar. That was it, guys, just keeping it nice and simple. Now it's going to be your turn, and remember, any of these notes are going to sound great. Just take your time, you can do it. So this next example, guys, all we're going to look at is arpeggios, and what that means is in the chord these 3 notes, D, F, and A. So here's how to play them. Come in with your 3rd finger on the 12th fret of the 4th string. That's your D note. Drop down and use your 1st finger on the 10th fret of the 3rd string. That's F, and drop down again and use your 1st finger on the 10th fret of the 2nd string. That's A. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Pat, how am I supposed to solo with just 3 notes, okay? Well, sometimes you only need 1 note. It's all just about your imagination, okay? So we're just going to start with those 3 notes. It's going to sound great spelling out that chord, okay? And once you play those 3 notes, and you can play them in any order, so once you have played those 3 notes and you're thinking about the chord, try adding in other notes from the pentatonic scale. Any notes that you want. Completely up to you guys. That's all I want you to do, is just think about what notes are actually going on, play the arpeggio, and then try and add a little bit more spice to it. I'll show you how that sounds, and then grab your guitar, it'll be your turn too. Alright guys, now it's your turn. Now again, that was just little extra melodies, just playing extra notes within that pentatonic scale, but starting off really important, knowing what notes you're playing and playing the arpeggios. Your turn, guys. And the last thing that we're going to do, guys, is we're going to add in some blues notes or some chromatic notes or some grace notes, whatever you want to call them. We're going to play some notes that aren't necessarily in that D minor chord, okay? So these are notes that, you could call blues notes, grace notes, chromatic notes. Now they might sound to your ear a little bit strange. They might sound a little bit sort of colourful or strange, or you might just hate them, but some you can just use as, you know, sort of grace notes and go over them. So instead of just having that normal arpeggio sound, adding in a little bit more colour there, making it a little bit interesting. So you can even play some chromatics one finger after the other. Just making it sound a little bit interesting. So these notes, they may not be within the pentatonic scale, they might sort of jump into the blues scale a little bit. You might just be adding in chromatics, but the point is to just step outside the box in your comfort zone and stop sort of thinking a little bit about scales too much and just use your ears and hear and just, yeah, play whatever you think. Here we go. Your turn, guys. Well done, guys, for making it to the end. Now I'm going to be playing this little bit of the backing track. At the end, I'm going to pause it and play it sort of 3 different times just to give you 3 different chances to play those different ideas. So remember, what we did is first we came out with one scale over the one chord, so a D minor pentatonic scale over a D minor chord. Then we came in and we tried the D minor arpeggio over the D minor chord. And lastly, we just sort of went free for all and just sort of tried and added in some extra chromatic notes, grace notes, blue notes, maybe some bending and some sliding, that sort of stuff. That's what you guys want to be trying out. But that's it. Did you like the effort? If you did, definitely like this video. If you want to see more, you want to learn about more guitar and more theory and all that stuff, definitely head to patdavidmusic.com. But otherwise, that's it, guys. Now, at the point when this video does come up, not sure if the links will be active, but if you do want to check out the entire song, check out the links in the description for Bandcamp, iTunes, and Google Play. The links will become active as the song heads up there. But otherwise, guys, stay tuned, and next time we'll be looking at the final part, the chorus. Otherwise, great work for making it to the end, guys. Bye.